Season 19 brought a lot of changes alongside its release. A new legend, new respawn mechanics, and a brand new storm point with new points of interest to play in. Of the new points of interest, one in particular has caught the eye of every professional team in the competitive scene. A centralized location that may be the greatest POI we have ever seen. Hi, I'm MooreOver, and I am here to help break down the world of competitive Apex. Today, I want to talk about one of the latest additions to Apex Legends, and show you why I believe it is the most broken location in the entire game. Join me as we discuss Pylon. Watson's Pylon is a new POI that replaces Antenna on Stormpoint, with a 3-layer tower at the center, 2 large indoor spaces, multiple outside platforms and walkways, and 3 sets of smaller buildings on the outer rim. Pylon brings with it a brand new, tightly packed style of endgames onto Stormpoint, which is fantastic for the upcoming ALGS Year 4. We'll be seeing a ton of intense final rings pull into Pylon thanks to all of the new playable space introduced with it. But the endgames are not what I want to talk about here today. Instead of talking about the end, we're going to be focusing on the beginning. So what is Pylon like as a landing spot to drop on? Broken. Pylon is absolutely broken. Loot is one of the main driving factors on whether or not a point of interest is good to land on. Picking a location where your full team will be equipped with high tier loot is fantastic for any team, and only a handful of locations on each map offer that high quality. In general, the definition of good quality is seen as reliable blue shields, good weaponry with ammo and some attachments, and at least a stack or 2 stacks of each med type for every player on a team. Getting anything less than this for all 3 members of your squad can be seen as lesser or poor quality loot. High quality, on the other hand, goes a step further than that. You can define high quality loot as having a reliable purple or gold shield, higher rarity backpacks and attachments, and good enough meds to fully fill the packs of your entire team. Consistently getting this type of loot out of a POI will give you a significant advantage over teams that do not get that same quality of loot. So understanding that, where does Pylon sit on the loot quality?
So far. Did we get a gold knockdown there? You guys both got gold knockdowns.
High quality doesn't even begin to explain the loot you can find in Pylon alone. During the research of this video, I repeatedly landed at Pylon during my ranked grind, twitch.tv/MooreOver, to gauge just how high quality the loot inside of Pylon was, and repeatedly I was amazed by what my squad came out with. A POI is considered high quality if it can reliably get a single purple shield to spawn, but in Pylon, it was rarer to not find a purple shield, alongside 2 other blue shields and at least 1 gold or another purple shield. This is all thanks to the height of Pylon, which features a grand total of 3 high-tier loot spawns, 1 inside of the center height, and 2 in the indoor room on the northeast side. Even if you don't get shields out of these high-tier spawns, they still have chances to drop gold knockdowns or purple backpacks, which are still huge boons for any team that lands there. The rest of the POI from there is considered mid-tier loot, which still offers reliable blue shields and attachments for your weapons, as well as the chance to drop higher-tier items like purple shields. In the worst case scenario for Pylon, you leave with the average loot that a team landing at Harvester on World's Edge or Mill on Stormpoint will leave with. And that is the worst it can be. But the quality of the loot isn't everything in a POI. The quantity is just as important. You can have a location with high tier loot, but if it only has a handful of buildings and some bins to pick up, the loot isn't going to be enough. Think of Dome on World's Edge as a perfect example of this. Does Pylon, however, suffer from this? No. It's harder to find a spot in this POI that doesn't have any loot to grab. From the walkways, platforms, indoors, and low ground, every spot is an opportunity to find another item you need. That's all without mentioning the 3 sets of buildings surrounding the center, each with its own smattering of loot to add onto the plethora you already have. Even more interesting about this abundance is the overall speed you can loot it in. I took 2 games from the recent Code Red Freedom Tournament and timed the looting period it took Oxygen Esports to fully equip themselves from Pylon. In the first game, Oxygen believes they are being contested, and end up taking worse overall looting paths after they realize they are clear. taking a grand total of 2 minutes and 25 seconds to leave Pylon and craft at Coastal Camp, which is a pretty long time to loot a single POI without a crafter. The second game, Oxygen took the path they intended to use regularly, and left Pylon to get to zone in 1 minute and 38 seconds. Still long, but more in line with dense POIs such as this. OXG even mentions that they still looted suboptimally here, and could have looted more quickly.
I'm going.
Took a long time to loot it.
Yeah, I mean, first time like actually looting unconned, I think.
With more experience and practice on the looting paths, I highly expect that teams landing at Pylon can regularly leave the POI in under 1 minute and 30 seconds. A very good looting time for average POIs, but with all of the benefits of Pylon loot. And all of this doesn't even mention a replicator, which Pylon can spawn with. You can have everything that Pylon has to offer and still get even more by crafting at a replicator. Pylon is the only POI where you can leave it with a red shield and a purple almost ready to pop. Oh, and I almost forgot, Pylon is the only POI on Stormpoint that also features a charge tower from King's Canyon. So after you get your 2 gold knockdowns, 2 red shields, fully kitted weapons, 10 shield batteries, and a purple backpack, you can also hit the charge tower to ensure that every member of your squad has an ultimate ready to use against the poor 3-man who just left Coastal Camp with 2 blues and 2 heavy mags. Okay, we get it. Pylon has a lot of really good loot. That has to be it though. Pylon teams are better looted than anybody else. There surely can't be another reason for this POI to be as busted as it is. Right? Yeah, you know where this is going. The placement of a POI is everything for rotations. A decent POI can be gutted if the rotations from it are blocked off or just bad in general. To illustrate my point, let's take a quick peek onto World's Edge and see what I would say was the best POI before Pylon came barging in. Lava Siphon. Lava Siphon rotations are absolutely fantastic thanks to the POI's huge space coverage and open paths. It has first priority access to a fragment choke and the same high priority to 7 other POIs, and its west side isn't bad either, having another large choke on the north and open area in the south to move through. This all makes Lava Siphon an incredibly good POI to rotate from, and since it is similarly placed to Pylon, we can compare them rather easily, and seeing them side by side, we see a particular problem occur. Pylon space is a lot tighter compared to Lava Siphon, and all of the chokes that lead out to Pylon lead directly into different landing spots that may have teams looking for a fight. From the looks of things, Pylon may actually have bad rotations. Is this a crack in Pylon's ironclad armor? Is it truly not the most broken POI? No, it still is. Here's why. Remember that Pylon has incredibly good loot that surpasses any other location on any map in the entire game. Now look at the 2 POIs with direct sightlines to Pylon, Coastal Camp and Jurassic. These 2 POIs share a common trait that Pylon lacks. Their loot sucks. Both Jurassic and Coastal can offer passable loot, but nothing that can compare to the firepower around them. Coastal Camp in particular has a problem with Echo HQ sitting right next door. If Coastal picks a fight with either Pylon or Echo HQ, the team that lands at the other POI can come and third it. So if a team lands at Coastal Camp, they are incentivized to move quickly, lest they be caught in the net of far more powerful teams. Then there is Jurassic. One thing I forgot to mention about Pylon is that it features a cannon within the POI that sends players into the center of Jurassic, effectively connecting the 2 landing spots together. If teams are contesting at either one of these spots, the other has a fast pass to third it. But just like Coastal Camp, the offerings within Jurassic are negligible, and nowhere near reliable enough to consistently win fights against Pylon. This leaves teams landing at Jurassic with 2 options. Either A, risk the fight against the Pylon team when they inevitably move in, or B, get the hell out of there.
Get the hell out of here!
Most Jurassic teams will choose B. 2 of the POIs with the best chance of ruining a rotation for Pylon are also the most likely to avoid the risk of becoming 3 free KP. Getting fast access to Jurassic lets Pylon teams access much of the center end zones far faster than other southern POIs, as well as having free access to most southern zones with an uncontested open area to move through. Teams can still have trouble with particularly aggressive teams at launch site or Echo HQ, but these POIs' looting times are slower on average and are more likely to attract edge-focused teams looking to loot up and craft, which is something Pylon teams don't have to waste nearly as much time doing. Remember that tournament I mentioned earlier? Well, that was also the first tournament since Season 19's release to feature a pro team completely uncontested at Pylon. Allow me now to show you who won the Matchpoint Finals in that tournament.
For our final tournament, Oxygen looking to take everything home. SA Dead is gone. That means there is only one member left of Alliance before it's hasta la vista. Congratulations to Oxygen being the winners of this Code Red Freedom Season 2 Finals Tournament.
What a performance from OXG. 3 games in a row they perform and they show up big time.
So there you have it. Pylon features the best loot in the entire game without a single room for debate, and all of this added firepower ensures that the nearby POIs around it will not be as willing to pressure them on rotations, effectively giving Pylon edge-style loot and fast zone rotations. Because of Pylon's glaring strengths that go far beyond anything we have ever seen in Apex Legends, I have to award this point of interest a title I have not given a single spot in the game. Pylon is the most broken POI in Apex Legends. Thank you for watching. Please let me know what you think of these styles of videos in the comments. They have been fun to make, but I want to hear what you guys think of them. A big thank you to Riz and Rose for their help in gathering the blank map footage for today's video. You'll be able to watch their team in upcoming women's tournaments and events in Apex Legends. Links to them down below. Another big thank you to my supporters here on YouTube, the Big Mufa and Blue Kalu. Their support helps make videos like this possible. If you like what I do and want to see more videos like it, you can support me here on YouTube and be recognized for it at the end of future videos. As always, if you have suggestions for parts of Apex Legends to break down next, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, this has been MooreOver. Have a lovely day.